as I was coming through all of this, I soon found out that one of the biggest companies that I was with, Universal Music, it's the second part of the ugly truth. We began to research things to check on my royalties and my statements and things that of that nature, only to find out a lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals,
Angie Stone had been speaking up about Universal Music Group, accusing them of taking her earnings for years without her knowledge. Then, not long after, she made it clear she would do whatever it took to get what she was owed. For herself, her children, and her grandchildren, she was in a car accident. Out of the 8 people involved, she was the only one who didn't survive. That alone is enough to raise eyebrows, but when you look at everything else happening around her before she passed, it starts to feel even more suspicious. Over the past few months, she had been exposing more than just Universal Music Group. She was also shedding light on different parts of the music industry, including how she believed D'Angelo and Mary J. Blige were used to hold her back in the industry. Some people think all of this might be connected to her passing. Then there's the strange situation with Blige, who recently shared text messages between him and Angie from just a few days before she died. The messages contained very personal information, which has left people wondering why he chose to make them public now. With all of these factors in play, it's hard to ignore that something seems off about her sudden death. Before getting into the details of her final days, it's important to recognize her contributions to music. Angie was raised in a musical household. Her mother loved to sing around the house, and her father was a gospel and blues singer who performed around town. As an only child, she admired her father, and he played a big role in shaping her career. Angie became part of the first all-female rap group, The Sequence, under Sugar Hill Records. They helped pave the way for women in hip-hop and were among
that they were single-handedly put in charge of sending out letters everywhere to make people think that I was the cause of him being exposed to alcohol, to everything that could have gone wrong. And we need you to mail this out. And that person knew that it was
first female groups to record a rap song. She later joined the trio Vertical Hold before branching out on her own as a solo artist. Angie made a name for herself with songs like No More Rain, In This Cloud, which stayed at the top of Billboard's adult R&B airplay chart for 10 weeks. Another big hit was Wish I Didn't Miss You, and her 2001 album Mahogany Soul climbed to number 22 on the Billboard 200 chart. In 2007, The Art of Love and War peaked at number 11. Outside of music, she also found success in acting. She had roles in The Hot Chick with Rob Schneider, The Fighting Temptations starring Cuba Gooding Jr. and Beyoncé, and Ride Along with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart. She even appeared on Broadway, playing Big Mama Morton in Chicago. On reality TV, fans got to see a different side of her on Celebrity Fit Club and R&B Divas, Atlanta. Despite everything she achieved, she faced struggles that many artists deal with, especially when it came to money. Angie, like others before her, only started to realize something was wrong with her finances later in her career. When she finally did, she was determined to get justice. What makes her story even more frustrating is that she didn't even know. Universal Music Group had been taking her money for years. When she found out, she made it her mission to
perceived as both negligence and deliberate financial misconduct.
A walking testimony that God has carried me all this time, because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people that have been driving the ships, and what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. See, I'm not an attorney. I don't
to expose them. Her connection to Universal Music Group came from her time as a songwriter for MCA Records, where she started in 1990. MCA, which later became Universal Studios Inc. in 1996, had a music division that turned into Universal Music Group. Angie was signed as a songwriter under MCA Universal and also performed with Vertical Hold, which was under their umbrella. On January 2nd, she posted a video detailing how Universal had allegedly mismanaged her earnings over more than 40 years. At the start of the video, she mentioned a serious blood infection that forced her to stop touring and get immediate medical attention. While recovering in intensive care, she started noticing irregularities in her financial records. About 15 minutes into the clip, she revealed that Universal had been taking all of her publishing money, royalties, and mechanical rights. She couldn't believe that after being in the industry for so many years, she wasn't receiving what she was owed. Angie expressed deep frustration, saying she had spent her life working for something only to have it stolen from her. She didn't
let me know, and it's going on record to say that when the time comes, they will step up to the mic and let it be known that was their assignment, to destroy my credibility by way of making me look crazy in a relationship that was innocent and pure and real. As a matter of fact, it was so real and pure, you could tell by the nourishment of the music then was just pleasant, it was real, it was...
hold back. She called out Universal and said they would have to give her back her money. She made it clear that she wasn't just fighting for herself, but for her children and grandchildren as well. She also claimed that many of her songs weren't even properly registered, and there were class action lawsuits tied to them that she hadn't been informed about. Angie said she had a strong legal team looking into it and warned upcoming artists to be careful about the music industry's shady business practices. Then, just a few weeks after putting all of this out in the open, she was gone. That's why people are questioning what really happened. Why did her life end so suddenly right after she made these claims? Was it really just a tragic accident, or was something more sinister at play?
I was surprised at the end of the day when my song that we talked about the other day, Every Day and Die, was leaked on her project. I really thought she had a lot more respect for me than that. After all, my love and my hard work and perseverance with you was genuine. So that's my secret.
The music industry has a history of artists mysteriously dying after speaking out against powerful companies. Angie Stone was determined to get justice, but she never got the chance to see it through. Now, people are left wondering whether this was just another example of an artist being silenced. I don't want to sound like I'm pushing a conspiracy theory, but doesn't it seem strange that Angie was the only one who lost her life in that accident? There were other people in the vehicle, but she was the only casualty, and this happened right after she started speaking out